Let me tell you a story about Harriet Tubman and all her heroic endeavors before, during, and after the Civil War. Harriet Tubman, against all odds, to save thousands of slaves. I can tell you this story with some confidence because I was taught this at Harriet Tubman Middle School in Portland, Oregon, along with many of hours of reading and investigating the accuracy of her journey. Harriet Tubman was born Armida Ross in 1820 in Maryland, where she was born into slavery. Harriet was one of 8 children born to Harriet Ross. Although Harriet was never made to work in the fields of the plantation system, she was made to work as a house slave, weaving baskets, doing laundry, and she was severely beaten on a daily basis and even raped by her master. At the age of 5 is when Harriet began being made to be a slave. By the time she was 13, while visiting in town, she was nearly killed by a slave owner who tried to throw an iron rod on one of his slaves, but it hit Harriet instead and almost killed her. Harriet never fully recovered from her injuries. She suffered from dizziness, blackouts, and narcolepsy for the duration of her life. I tell you all of this to tell you the historic life Harriet grew up to live against all odds to save thousands of slaves. In 1849, Harriet Tubman made her escape to the north, Philadelphia, so it said, after her owner died of an illness, which later in history they tried to say that she poisoned him, yet there was no proven facts of that to be the case. Harriet Tubman first encountered the Underground Railroad when she used it to escape from slavery. Through the years of 1850 and 1860, Harriet Tubman made 19 trips from the north to the south. Each trip was 90 miles long, one way, but she was determined to free her family and her friends from the plantation system. Harriet saved more than 300 slaves during that 10-year period. In 1861, Harriet served in the Civil War. She was made a nurse, she was a cook, and she also served as a Soviet spy for the Civil War. Harriet became the first woman to ever lead a militant operation under Colonel James Montgomery, and with help of 150 African slaves, she was able to free another 700 slaves. Let's be reminded that during that time, President Lincoln was sworn into office, and he said that if the slaves were to fight in the Civil War with our country, then they were to be freed. But after the Civil War, a lot of the masters did not honor that, and a lot of the people of the country didn't honor that either. So Harriet had to find another way. President Lincoln was also killed for signing this direct order. Harriet finally settled down in Auburn, New York, where she volunteered her time to the Union Army because she had a lot of love for the Army. She knew that it was a way to be free and to free others and to show her gratitude for all that they fought for in their country. Harriet said, "Remember, every great dream begins with a dreamer." Harriet Tubman died in Auburn, New York in 1913. She was around 98 years old. Her legacy, her bravery, was to live on in the history of our nation and is still taught in our schools today. Harriet Tubman is a great legend. So let's not forget that with all the heroic things that Harriet Tubman did, above all, they've created a movie on her that you can watch on Netflix. It was also on Disney Plus for a while. She is in all of the history books, including YVC. We were able to study her during one of our ethics classes. Harriet Tubman was a strong woman. And let me just catch you up a little bit on something. So Harriet Tubman, through her narcolepsy, she would fall asleep and she would have these visions of of her God telling her where to go and how to get there, and told her the journey that she could take. And she ended up getting the nickname Moses. And the reason that she got that was because Moses was also the one that was stranded out in the desert and was given sights and visions. And people for a long time thought that she was possessed. But really, she was getting visions from God that helped her with her journey to free all of these slaves. Harriet Tubman really was a legend.